I was diagnosed with cancer. Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
So that was a bad year. So I had no work. I wasn't on SNL anymore. And I had cancer, and my brother had cancer, and my parents moved in with me.
From the bright stages of Saturday Night Live to the challenging corridors of cancer wards, Julia Sweeney's story grabs you by the heart and doesn't let go. Cancer doesn't discriminate, not even against those who bring us joy. In this video, we delve into Julia Sweeney's inspiring journey from a cancer diagnosis to becoming a beacon of hope. Discover how this SNL star tackled her health crisis with a unique blend of humor and courage. Stick around to learn how Julia's story goes beyond just survival, offering valuable lessons on resilience, the power of laughter, and the importance of a strong support system in the face of adversity.
Just worked with a lot of people who died. I've had a lot of friends who've died. And I've had family members who died. My brother died of cancer.
In the midst of a family crisis, Julia Sweeney, a renowned writer, actress, and comedian, faced her own daunting challenge. It was 1995, a time shadowed by her brother Michael's battle with late-stage lymphoma, that Julia received her cervical cancer diagnosis. This period, which Julia refers to as the fog of cancer, was marked by a heightened awareness and almost a premonition of her own impending health struggle. Julia's journey into the world of cancer began with a sense of inevitability. Having been deeply involved with her own brother's care, she had become acutely attuned to the realities of the disease. When her diagnosis came, it didn't strike her as unexpected. In her own words, she had developed an attitude that cancer was an almost certain fate, a sentiment that, in retrospect, she acknowledges may not have been logical but felt very real at the time. The early detection of her cervical cancer played a crucial role in shaping her outlook. Her doctors assured her that her condition was unlikely to be life-threatening, which instilled in her a strong conviction of survival. This belief was not just a passive hope, it was an active confidence. Julia felt empowered by the knowledge that her cancer was treatable and that her survival chances were high. She often reflected on the fact that while her cervix was a part of her, it was not essential for life, unlike vital organs like her lungs or liver. During this tumultuous period, Julia's home became a sanctuary and a battlefield. Her brother lived with her, allowing her to provide the care he needed. Her parents also moved in, adding to the support system, but also bringing the inevitable stress that comes with constant close quarters. The dynamics of having her entire family under one roof while dealing with two cancer diagnoses created a unique environment, one where emotions ranged from deep despair to moments of lightheartedness.
My parents moved in with me into my 1,200 square foot house. And also good things came out of that terrible year. I realized I was good at talking on stage about difficult subjects. I did my show God Said Hot, ended up on Broadway. Like all, definitely good things came from this terrible time.
Amidst the gravity of her and her brother's illness, Julia found solace and strength in her innate sense of humor. She often remarked on the absurdity of the situation, both she and her brother battling cancer simultaneously, with their elderly parents back in the family home. This bizarre twist of fate was not lost on her, and she used it as a source of comic relief. Julia's humor was not a denial of the seriousness of her situation, but a way to cope with it. She found laughter in the small, everyday moments that seemed incongruous with the grim reality of cancer. For instance, the idea of her parents driving her crazy for an indefinite period became a source of amusement rather than frustration. This approach to her illness allowed her to navigate her journey with a lighter heart, despite the underlying challenges. However, Julia's use of humor did not mean she was immune to the emotional toll of her and her brother's cancer. She openly acknowledged the times when sadness overwhelmed her, especially as she witnessed her brother's health decline. In these moments, hope became her refuge. She focused on being present, both for herself and for her brother, cherishing each hour they had together. Her humor was balanced with a deep sense of empathy and a calm, hopeful demeanor. Julia's story is a testament to the multifaceted nature of coping with cancer. Her ability to find humor in the face of adversity, coupled with her realistic yet optimistic outlook, provided her with a unique toolkit to navigate her and her brother's cancer journey. It's a narrative that underscores the power of perspective in the face of life's most challenging moments. Julia Sweeney's treatment journey began with a critical decision, undergoing a hysterectomy. This surgical procedure, a significant step in her battle against cervical cancer, was followed by a carefully considered radiation therapy plan. Julia's medical team presented her with options for the duration of radiation treatment, 4, 6, or 9 weeks. With a determined mindset to reduce the risk of cancer reoccurrence to the lowest possible, Julia chose the 9-week course, the longest of the options. The weeks following her brother's passing were a whirlwind of emotional and physical challenges for Julia. Just 3 weeks after this profound loss, she underwent the hysterectomy, a procedure that marked a turning point in her life. The subsequent radiation therapy was an arduous process, but Julia faced it with resilience. Fortunately, her body responded well to the treatment and she did not experience any severe, long-term side effects from the radiation. During this intense period, Julia's support system played a pivotal role. Her parents, who had moved in to assist during her brother's illness, continued to provide support. However, their presence was a double-edged sword. While they offered much-needed emotional and practical support, their constant presence in her house brought its own set of stresses. Additionally, Julia had a close-knit circle of friends who provided support, but this too came with a sense of obligation for Julia to ensure that they felt their efforts were helpful, adding another layer of stress.
Then I did In the Family Way, which is all about adopting my daughter Mulan, who's now 17 years old.
Post-recovery, Julia embarked on a new chapter in her life, motherhood. Her journey to becoming a mother was not the traditional one. It was shaped by her experience with cancer. The hysterectomy made it impossible for her to bear children biologically, but Julia had always harbored a positive inclination towards adoption. This alternative path to motherhood was one she also embraced wholeheartedly. Julia's adoption of her daughter Mulan was a fulfillment of her long-standing desire to be a mother. She often reflected on how not being able to bear a child was not a significant hurdle for her, giving her openness to adoption. The arrival of Mulan in her life was a joyous event, bringing a new dimension of love and fulfillment. Julia's relationship with Mulan blossomed into a deep, nurturing bond, showcasing her commitment and love as a mother. This part of her journey highlights the diverse paths to family and motherhood, shaped by personal experiences and choices. In the years following her recovery, Julia became a staunch advocate for cervical cancer awareness and preventative care. Her experience with the disease had given her a profound understanding of the importance of early detection and prevention. She was particularly attentive to ensuring that her daughter Mulan received the cervical cancer vaccine as soon as she was of age. Julia viewed this as a critical step in safeguarding her daughter's health, potentially preventing the type of cancer she had battled. Julia often shared her story to raise awareness about cervical cancer, emphasizing the significance of vaccines and regular health screenings. Her advocacy extended beyond her immediate family, as she used her platform to educate and encourage others to take proactive steps in cancer prevention. Her message was clear: preventative care is a crucial element in the fight against cervical cancer, and taking active steps towards it can make a significant difference. Now let's move to this scientific insight into cervical cancer. Cervical cancer, a type of cancer that occurs in the cells of the cervix, is often caused by the human papilloma virus, HPV. HPV is a common virus that is transmitted through sexual contact. The key to protecting yourself from cervical cancer lies in preventative measures, such as regular screening tests like pap smears and HPV tests, which can detect precancerous conditions of the cervix. Moreover, the HPV vaccine plays a crucial role in prevention. It is recommended for girls at an early age to protect against the types of HPV that most often cause cervical, vaginal, vulvar, and anal cancers. Alongside vaccination, practicing safe sex and having regular health checkups are vital steps in reducing your risk.
Even every tragic situation, there's always funny things. That doesn't mean you're taking it lightheartedly or anything. It's just, I always think when you get cancer, or the situation I was in when my brother had cancer.
As we draw inspiration from Julia's story, let's also commit to spreading awareness about cervical cancer. It's essential to educate yourselves and others about its causes, the importance of early detection, and the available preventative measures. Remember, knowledge is power, especially when it comes to our health. So, as we conclude, let's ponder this. How can we use our understanding of cervical cancer to make informed choices about our health? How can we encourage those around us to do the same? Julia's story is not just one of survival, it's a call to action for health motivation and awareness.